Hi, everybody. Um, I'm a hot mess today. I didn't really do anything with my hair, no makeup. I'm always stripped down during these testimonies, but I want to talk a little more about generalized anxiety and depression in today's testimony because um, if you live with generalized anxiety and depression, uh, it could be difficult at times. And, for some people, it's very crippling. And it can really put you down and make you sick, actually. And when I was diagnosed with a depression, it's actually mild to moderate, and it just goes hand in hand with the generalized anxiety. And I might have mentioned that in a previous testimony. Um, some days are going to be better than others, and I'm having an off and on day today with it. And some days are really good for me, but some days are kind of mixed. My emotions fluctuate up and down, and then I get almost like I'm feeling a panic attack coming on or an anxiety attack coming on. And then I have these little bouts of crying bouts. And I know that's what it is. It's just because I have taken on more of a different priorities in my life. I do more housework. I'm more into doing that than I was before. And it just, I'm running errands and making appointments and having to be somewhere at a certain time. It really can stress a person out. And I've been under a lot of stress these days. So I have to continue to find a way to take better care of myself. That was always difficult for me before because I was such a workaholic for so many years. And the last 2 years were really bad. Actually, not even the last 2 years, more like the last 6 years were really bad because I was constantly working. Constantly. I was either working my retail job, uh, 25 hours a week, and then I'd be at home working online, spending over 30 hours a week online, with social media, updating websites and social networking sites and stuff. And I'm learning to balance my life more than before. And it's still hard for me because I want to go back into that old habit, being a workaholic. And I have to learn not to be the workaholic that I was before. It just is a reminder to me today that I have to take more time for myself and use the coping skills of self-care, mindful breathing, um, grounding, and relaxation, meditation. Uh, and I wouldn't be so much reality acceptance, but also it's more like the pros and cons. If you know what I'm talking about or have had group sessions or group therapy for your anxiety or your depression, you'll know what I'm talking about. And sometimes the best way to um, work on your anxiety is not letting it hinder you. Um, I've never been the kind of person to let anything get to me or keep me down for long periods of time. But when I was really, really sick for 4 months, I just isolated myself, and I was very sick to the point where I was in the ER 4 times, and it really got to me. And and I didn't know what was happening either. So I went through a lot because of that. And then when I found out that I had the mild to moderate depression with my anxiety, it just made better sense to me why I was always having the ups and downs with my moods and my emotions. And trying to keep that in check can be really difficult. So to anyone who has these issues or living with this, I hope in some way it's going to help you, because it helps me when I talk about this. I'm not the kind of person that likes to bottle my emotions. And I was like that at one time. I internalized so much of my emotions that I never really could express it. And the only way I could do that was in my writing, or in my poetry writing. And I found that very therapeutic. And I still find that very therapeutic. But I'm going back to just living more simply. Simplicity is a normal way of living, and I'm not used to that whatsoever. I am not used to the simple life, but I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm constantly learning about balance and simplicity. And I remind some of my closest friends and my special someone all the time, or whenever I need to. You need balance in your life. You have to have that. Otherwise, you're going to just crash and burn and really wear yourself out and get sick. So it's constantly a learning process, for any of us that have these issues and live with a form of mental health. There are a lot of stigmas around it. I mentioned before that a lot of people think it's a crazy person's um, disorder or illness. That's not true. A lot of us live with this, and living to cope with it can be difficult. And it's a real challenge for a lot of us. And it's just learning how to cope with it and not let it hinder you. And have those moments where you need for yourself. Um, to me, it used to always seem like it was a selfish way of living, is taking better care of yourself. But then I come to realize it isn't. We all need that time for us, and reflection, and just living life the way we need to live it. And it's normal for us with mental health. I have some friends who are like this, and we all talk about that when we're together or online in one way or another. And I can't wait to bring more of my projects to the forefront with proactive this proactivity with mental health. It means a lot to me that I'm able to talk more about it, and let you know that you're not alone in this. We're all together in this, and we're gonna be those warriors out there for everybody else. And it's really important that we stand up for one another and really be there for each other in the long run. Like I said, we're gonna have our good days, bad days. They're gonna go up and they're gonna come down. So just having that mindfulness and that self-care moment time is really important on you, and it is for me too. And I'm making that time today, and also talking to you about this. And I will come back with a testimony next week. I don't know if it'll be on anxiety or not, but it might be part of it. But I'm going to talk more about my book series too. So I'm always looking forward to hearing from you out there, and thank you for always tuning in. I really appreciate it.